You know, coming back to school after any kind of a break is always a bit of a bumpy transition for teachers and students alike. And when you throw Zoom into the mix where everybody's physically distanced on top of it, it can be even more of a challenge. But here's one thing that you can do to take control from the very start, hit the ground running, and ensure the maximum success of your class in the new semester. Stick with me and let's talk about it. Hi, and welcome to Classroom Confidential. My name is Christopher Youngren, and I'm a middle school ELA teacher in Tucson, Arizona. If this is your first time joining me, then hey, welcome. I'm glad you're here. So coming back to school after a vacation, I mean, none of us like it. I mean, yes, we as teachers love to teach and we love to see the students and we miss the students, but still, that first day of coming back and getting up early again after an extended period of sleeping in and watching too much TV and playing too many video games, yeah, guess what? Teachers play video games too. It's difficult to get back into the swing of things. And if it's difficult for teachers, you know it's difficult for students. It is definitely a challenge, and unless we take control from day one, we're going to have the deck stacked against us. And so what I do is I use something called a behavior contract, and this works equally well in person or on Zoom. On Zoom, it's going to take a bit of tweaking, but basically all it is a set of rules, a set of expectations, a set of behaviors that we want our students to follow, and make sure that everybody is on the same page and playing in the same ball field. I'm not a sports guy. Is that even a metaphor? I don't know. But basically everyone's on the same page. So we start off on square one together and we move forward as a group, as a community, rather than a set of distanced individuals who are all playing by their own rules and dancing to the beat of their own drummer, because it's just not going to work, and it's going to be especially problematic in Zoom. So I go over the behavior contract at the beginning of each semester. And here are some of the things that I include. You're certainly not limited to this, and you don't even have to use these. This is just what works for me. The first thing that I talk about is dress. I want to make sure that everybody is dressed for the day. I think it really puts them in a mindset for success if they put on clothes the same way they would if they were going to school. If they come to class in their pajamas or in their robe or in sweats or whatever, I think it really keeps them in this sort of lazy state of mind, this sort of unfocused state of mind. But if they put on some clothes, if they comb their hair, if they brush their teeth, and they come to class like a person, then I think they're setting themselves up much more for success than they would otherwise. Eating in class, I don't really have a problem with it. Some teachers do have a problem with it, as long as it's not distracting, as long as they're not making a big production out of pouring their cereal and they leave their volume on and so I can hear them chewing their food. I hate the sound of people chewing food. As long as it's not a distraction, then I don't care. I really don't. Lying down though, some kids have actually been laying down in bed. It's like they literally rolled over, turned on the computer, and now they're in class. No, it's not going to fly. You need to sit up, you need to pay attention, and you need to be present. You need to be here. Along those lines, other screens, having other screens, other tabs open, Minecraft, YouTube, not going to fly. And after a few months of teaching on Zoom, I know when you're not listening to me. I can tell if you're getting really close to the screen and you seem really, really interested in what's going on screen. I know you're not listening to me because you've never been that interested in me. So don't try and pull one over on your teachers at this point. Quite honestly, we know better. We know when you're not present and we know when you're not listening. So agree to be here now. Agree to be present. My students are only in school half the day. I mean, they're only in school for about 4 hours. So they got another 20 hours to play Minecraft or YouTube or do whatever they do. But while they're in my class, I do insist that they be present. I also insist that they show respect. Give respect, get respect is so important. And I learned that from CJ Reynolds. Thanks, CJ. But respect is the overriding rule in any class, I believe. If you give respect and you treat others the way you want to be treated, then everything will work out so much better right across the board, and you're going to have a much stronger classroom community as a result. I also think it's important to throw in one silly rule, right? Just to keep some levity in there, to keep things a little bit light, so it's not all just like, hey, you must follow my rules. I'm the teacher and you're the students and you must do this. Yes, it's important for them to adhere to certain expectations of behavior, but also throw in one silly rule. For example, when I do a question of the day, which is how I start off every class, no one's allowed to say, I don't know, all right? I teach middle school and I get a lot of sort of apathetic IDK sort of responses, and it drives me nuts. I've lost my hair as a result. Can you believe it? And so what happens is if they give me I don't know, I punish them with random Disney songs. So they're like, I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing. And it drives them nuts, but they also think it's funny. Or maybe every other Thursday is talking a silly accent day or something. Just, tailor it to your class and whatever works for you. But throw in one silly rule just to show that through all of this madness of 2020 and now as the quarantine continues into 2021, that you as a teacher are still a human being and you still have a sense of humor. Just remember, routines have power, and kids need structure. They may not admit wanting structure, but they need it. They need to know that you're in charge. They need to know that this ship has a captain and that you are going to steer them safely through whatever storms you may encounter. And after last year, sky's the limit on what could happen this year. Hopefully it's a little more smooth sailing, but they want to know that they are in good hands from day one. So take a few minutes, review the behavior contract, make sure everyone is in agreement on class expectations and norms and rules, and I promise you, you're going to be a lot better off as a result. Thanks for joining me today. If you got value out of this video, smash that like button for me. I'd sure appreciate it. I'll see you next time, and until then, take care of yourselves and take care of someone else. Bye-bye.